The year was 2017, and Wizkid was not just the top artist in Nigeria and Africa. He was a rising global sensation. Wizkid wasn't the first to make Afrobeats internationally recognized. There were the likes of the bunch already in the game, but Wizkid was able to make it cool and marketable internationally. Around November of 2017, Shatta Wale granted an interview on Kasapa FM, which was basically about how to make money in the music business. This interview was quite standard and nothing alarming, but one thing Shatta Wale said in this video gained so much attention locally and internationally. This is what he had to say. "I don't see Wizkid to be too much for me, but Ghanaian artists see him like that. I don't want to see Wizkid and be wild. I want Wizkid to rather see me and be wild. Don't come and wear a fake chain and claim to be the biggest in Africa."
People say I know they see Wizkid superstar, so what the fuck is?
This comment by Shatta Wale came during a time when Nigerian artists were enjoying massive international exposure. Shatta likely felt that many Ghanaian artists were looking up to Wizkid in a way that undermined their own values and potential. He was making it clear that success wasn't just about international fame. Shatta Wale is a person who sees himself as a voice for Ghanaian music and likely thought that Ghanaians were quick to overlook their own stars in favor of Nigerians. Regardless of Shatta Wale speaking for himself and expressing his own thoughts, he will be met with a serious backlash from the public, especially Nigerians who were ready to let Shatta Wale know that he has bitten more than he can chew. After the backlash went viral, Wizkid never responded in any way, shape or form. Shatta Wale rather came out to double down on his controversial opinion. Wizkid is a bitch-ass nigga who doesn't love his fans. If he does, he will advise them. This is not only about music, it's about being a leader and a motivation to others. Him acting mature and all that is fake. He only wants them to see him as Mr. Perfect. Shatta Wale was trying to tell the general public that Wizkid is fake for not responding or calling his fans to order. This tweet by Shatta Wale angered the Nigerian public even more. Some made videos using very offensive words in addressing Shatta Wale.
Say you know see Wizkid superstar, you dey mad.
From the Nigerian perspective, it felt like Shatta Wale was intentionally trying to knock Wizkid down a peg, which is why many Nigerians jumped into defense. It wasn't just about Wizkid anymore. It was about protecting national pride and maintaining dominance in the African music scene. Even if Shatta Wale didn't mean to offend or come off as offensive, the way he packaged his points combined with the timing made it hard for Nigerian fans of Wizkid to see it as anything but a job. If you were Shatta Wale, what would you do at this point? A. Make a public apology and get Nigerians to stop clowning on you. B. Accept defeat and proclaim that Wizkid is indeed a superstar. Or C. Double down and make a diss song directed towards Nigerians and Wizkid. If you choose C, then you're right. Shatta made it his mission to bring the heat to Nigerians and make himself public enemy number one. Gone were the days of fighting his colleagues locally. He was now ready to take his shenanigans across the borders.
If in fans no stop fuck up, you see me, I go dirty myself for the whole Africa. Me, I go dirty one myself.
If you have made it to this part of the video, I would urge you to like and subscribe. I have great content coming up, trust me. If you are feeling kind to Yes My Momo line, show some love. Shatta Wale escalated the situation by releasing a diss track titled Disaster, where he sang about how he doesn't see Wizkid as a superstar, and if the fans of Wizkid keep on trying him, he will cause them a disaster. When people twisted his comments into a beef, Shatta likely felt misunderstood, so releasing Disaster allowed him to take control of the narrative and defend himself aggressively. By keeping the beef going, he was reinforcing his status as a fearless leader who wouldn't bow to any pressure from any fan base or foreign influence. This particular controversy kept Shatta Wale in the headline for weeks. At a time where Wizkid was riding a global wave, anything involving his name was guaranteed to trend. One thing about Shatta Wale is he's a master of media manipulation. He likely saw this as a chance to shine light on himself and his music. The diss track wasn't really about ego. It was rather a strategic move to keep people talking about him, his opinions and his music. Shatta Wale decided to go all in on this beef. He was seen brandishing a gun on Snapchat whilst calling out Wizkid and literally the whole Nigerian industry. There's no denying that waving a gun on camera and calling out people sends a specific kind of message that you are dangerous and not to be messed with. For someone like Shatta who already walks the line between artist and street boss, that video builds a persona that is bigger than music. You might be wondering that in all this chaos, where was Wizkid? What was he up to? Well, Wizkid never paid any attention to this beef or gave it any acknowledgements. He chose to remain silent and let the whole thing die out. At this point, everyone and their mom knew that Shatta Wale wanted to hear from Wizkid so badly. The fact of the matter is, If Wizkid had responded, two things would have happened. It would have made the beef legitimate in the eyes of the public, and it would have put Shatta Wale on the same level in the eyes of fans outside Ghana. The Starboy knew it was a bait for clout and relevance in a wider conversation that Shatta Wale wasn't really part of. Just when this one-sided beef was dying down, this video from Snapchat showed that Wizkid and Shatta Wale were hanging out, and from the look of things, they were really enjoying each other's company. This video was able to flip the script completely and was an eye-opener for many fans who emotionally invested into this beef. Whilst fans are online insulting each other, creating diss tracks and going into war in the comment sections, the artists themselves might be on the phone laughing behind the scenes. That video between Wizkid and Shatta Wale wasn't staged. It showed genuine chemistry between them. Wizkid and Shatta Wale literally hugged on stage to show that there was no tension between them. Sometimes, what starts as a small comment or joke gets blown out of proportion by the media and fan bases. When fans overhype these comments, they end up feeding into unnecessary drama and negativity. Wizkid and Shatta Wale's public hangouts expose how fans can be used as pawns in a bigger game. The ones who ultimately suffer are the fans, who invest emotions into something that was never wrote to begin with. At the end of the day, music is an industry, and these musicians are professionals. Sometimes what seems like a beef is actually business, which is intended to keep the buzz alive, boosting engagements, and even teasing future possible collaborations.